It's another game where it's sort of a tale of two halves. I thought the first half, the energy, the tempo, the ball movement, the competitive spirit of the team was as good as we've seen in a while. And in the second half, for a variety of reasons, the ball stopped moving. We had 16 assists at halftime. We had 6 in the second half. I think we were 2 or 3 for 17 from 3 in the second half, which can hurt the assist number some, but the types of shots we generated weren't the same. And when that happened, our energy, physicality, all of those things dipped. We should not expect to blow anybody out. We should expect there to be a run in every game. We made our run, they made their run, and there we are on the road with a chance to win. It's a one-possession game with like 4 minutes left, and those are the moments we want. And that's what I want for our group. And so it's going to be continuing to learn the value of possessions at those points in the game. And it's going to be continuing to recognize what works for us. It's a team sport, and we're not built to give the ball to one person and just kind of watch them do their thing. And so we're not going to do that, and we're also not going to take turns doing our own thing. We have to operate collectively as a group for 48 minutes, and I continue to see a lot of good play, and our ability to bounce back or right the ship when it starts to go sideways is something that we have to continue to work on, because at times, there's not enough timeouts in the game to every 6-0 run stop the game. It just doesn't work that way. We have to be able to work through those moments as a group and find ways to steady ourselves. But, we win as a team, we lose as a team. That's me included. It's always going to be a collective approach, and it's always going to be a collective diagnosis after the game of what we can all do better as we continue to try to grow as a group.
I guess first thing, do you have any sense of how Kyle's doing?
It's a sprained ankle. The severity of that, as you know, will be determined probably tomorrow when he wakes up.
It seemed that in the second half, and I'm sure, many reasons why things went wrong in the second half, but there were a lot of times where there was like 50-50 balls or balls that were kind of going out of bounds. It seems like your guys kind of gave up on those plays or didn't follow through on them. Is that does that effort fall off when the offense isn't happening, or do you have a sense of why that was going on?
Yeah, it's hard for me to say exactly what is going on in their heads in those moments. But I do think you're correct that there's too many times where the competitiveness dips. Everybody is part basketball player and they're also part competitor. And there's going to be moments in any player's game or career where shots aren't going in, or I've mishandled the ball a few times, but I can still be an elite competitor through those moments. That's what's most important to me, because ultimately for us to get to where we want to go, the playoffs are ugly and nasty and nobody feels good. You're fatigued, and I want to know that everybody in our locker room is ready to compete through the moments that don't feel good. It's easy to be competitive when it's all going right. But to dig yourself out in a tough moment is ultimately going to be the mark of like who you really want to go to battle with.
I want to go back to the first half. This game a little bit. Tempo seemed to be a theme and how you guys were playing with it and the pace. It seems like game by game you guys are adjusting. Last game, the first half wasn't that great. But what do you like about your team's ability to react next game and fix something like that?
Yeah, I think we're showing the ability to learn in the quiet moments. Sometimes recently that's been halftime. And tonight it seemed like there was some real carryover and growth from the film and practice in between the games. What we have to improve is our ability to learn and adapt in the loud moments, in the timeout in the middle of the third quarter, or the short break between the third and fourth quarter where you're in the arena, it's loud, it's hectic, you're emotional, you think the refs missed a call, you missed a shot, you're frustrated, you got subbed out. There's a lot of different things that go on for everybody. But those moments, like, can you focus on the task at hand? That's an area where we have to see growth from everybody. And we're going to continue to work at it every day. Like, I love these guys. I'm in it with them. It's my job to continue to try to help each and every one of them individually, myself and our staff. But there's also responsibility to try to help yourself. Everybody has to, participate in their own development, in their own growth. And I have the utmost confidence that our guys will do that, are doing that. All of these tough moments are going to be worth it. That I do know. And it's up to us to maintain the emotional clarity, to continue to see things for what they really are and try to make our best assessments from like a pretty emotion neutral state. And so that's why we watch film, that's why we practice, that's why we have individual workouts. And so it's back to work tomorrow.
Does there need to be an emphasis on, like, when you're in transition on defense, like the second action they get to in transition is the one that it seems like it falls off for you guys?
Are we on defense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be worked on and emphasized. This is it's the fun part of coaching. It's the hard part of coaching. It's there's always something to be fixed. There's always something to be worked on. There's always, you turn your attention to this, you feel like this is solid, then you turn your attention to this, and a week later this has slipped a little bit and now we've got to go back. That's what development is. It's not linear. You don't just get better every day. It's about trends. Like, can we be better 3 weeks from now as opposed to today? That doesn't mean that tomorrow will be better than today, but I've talked to you guys before about it. Kind of goes like this, hopefully on its way up. And so we have to expect that as a coaching staff and as an organization, and really continue to push through those moments where it feels like it's dipping or it feels like we're seeing some slippage, as we try to ultimately become better as a group and better as individuals.
Well, what did you think about Bryce, too, especially coming into that first half, 13 points, but just his mentality and being able to come in and impact the game like that?
Yeah, I think tonight was a great example for Bryce, that he has maintained really good energy with our team. He has not complained. He's not had like a woe is me mentality. He's just come to work every day. And he's taken some hard coaching. He's had some opportunity, then he hasn't had some opportunity. He understands what's expected of him. But to his credit, like, he was ready, and he deserves all of the credit for that. He's worked really hard on his game. He's stayed mentally sharp through moments where it would be easy to just sort of drift because you're not in the rotation. But, it's a credit to him. It's a credit to our assistant coaches who have been on the court with him every day doing his individual stuff. I recognize that the assistants do a lot of technical work with our players, but they also are doing a lot of the therapeutic work with our players to help them through those moments. And so they deserve a lot of the credit too. It's a collective effort, but I've been really pleased with Bryce's approach every day. I've been really pleased with his willingness to just give himself to the team and say, like, hey, I'm a part of the team, whatever's best for the team right now, and when you call my number, I'll be ready.
Thank you.
Thanks.